What's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with another episode of the Success Chronicles. And we're here with Coach John Bolfing in Montgomery, and we'll just dig right into it. Let's talk about how we met or how we know one another. You want to discuss that?
Sure, yes, sir. I mean, from my recollection, is probably one of our powerlifting meets. You know, maybe when you were at Conroe and you bring your powerlifting team over here maybe for a Thursday meet with the JV kids or you know, maybe varsity meet. I'm not really sure, but I know our paths crossed a lot through powerlifting. It seemed like, and so we ran into each other a bunch, you know, through that.
And I just, I don't know, just always was a good experience to come over and, you know, fellowship, you know,
yes, sir.
with you guys. Absolutely. And, you know, if you want to call it that, you know.
Absolutely. And
just competing against you guys 7-on-7 and
yes,
some of those things. I just always thought just good guys, you know, on your staff, you know, and it's infectious. You know, you can see it. You know, it's a reason why the kids are good because it's good guys around them. Right. So I always thought a lot of that.
Well, I appreciate that. You know, it's funny you say that because that's kind of the same feelings we had towards you when you bring those kids over. You know, we felt like the same way. You're a great guy. Those kids were well behaved, motivated, very coachable, and you know what their performance was reflected. You know, it was a reflection of you. We felt like so. Same thing.
Right. I appreciate that.
Mutual respect there, I guess.
There it is. If you could just kind of talk to us about your life story, you know, where you're from, how you grew up, where you grew up.
Well, let's see. I guess I was born in Atlanta, Georgia. Lived there about 9 months. My dad had taken a job over there. Then we came back. He was in the grocery business. So he owned a grocery store. So I grew up running up and down the grocery store aisles, you know, putting up soda water bottles and cleaning floors, all that kind of stuff.
Facing the can.
Straightening the cans. I can straighten any can. I can do that job. I'm pretty good at that. And did that. And my mom would work in the store as well. And she passed away when I was 12 years old. You know, and that obviously had a big impact on my life. Changed my life tremendously. Very difficult time, but you know, we got through it. I think my love of sports came from her. My dad worked all the time, very hard work. My work ethic, I think I got it from him. My love of sports came from her. She was, you know, like play volleyball and basketball and all that kind of stuff. So she kind of introduced us to sports, and I think the love of sports really was a reflection of her and her love for sports.
Good deal.
She was a big Cowboy fan too, so you know, I'm still a Cowboy fan.
There it is. And so when you like growing up, junior high, high school, where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Waco. Grew up in Waco, yes sir. Okay. Grew up in Waco. I didn't mention that, I guess. Yeah, grew up in Waco. I actually went to a Catholic school there in Waco. So we were Catholic, so they sent us to Catholic elementary school, St. Mary's Catholic school. Had nuns all over the place slapping us on the hands with rulers and all that kind of good stuff. Make sure we acted right.
That's where you got the discipline.
That's a little bit of exaggeration. It wasn't that bad. But and then went to the Catholic high school there in town, and we really did have some nuns there that were pretty brutal. But anyway, it was a great experience. It was a good upbringing, and you know, played all the different sports growing up. You know, once we got into high school, played football, basketball, baseball, high jump, did whatever we could. You know, and it was a small school. And anyway, that's my upbringing.
Right. And as far as college,
well, you know, when I graduated from high school, I ended up going to the University of Texas. That was a great experience. You know, it's a great place to go to school. You know, I went from a little video school to the university with 50,000 people. So a little bit of culture shock.
That was eye-opening.
It was a little different. But it was a great experience. Really enjoyed my time there, and left there and got right into the coaching business. And here I am, like, 28, 29 years later.
That's awesome.
Time flies.
Yeah, it does when you're having fun, huh?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And even sometimes when you're not having fun.
Yeah, no doubt. And you talk about your career, and you know, coaching now. If you could just kind of go about your career path, you know, from where you started up until now.
I haven't. Nobody has the same career path I have. I promise you that. I was 24 years old, I believe, just graduated from college, about 23, I guess, in a little bitty old school there in Waco, Texas, called Waco Christian. Had about 80 kids in high school. They lost their football coach that summer. And I had been coaching a bunch of their kids in summer league baseball a couple of years before that. And they were desperate, obviously. And so they asked me if I'd be interested in coaching football and everything. And I'd been around football a lot. I'd, you know, played and been around it. You know, I did some work out at Baylor at times when I was in town and stuff.
When you said that about desperate, that made me laugh. When you talking about, you know, and I'll say this. He said, when I asked him to interview, he was like, "Man, you must be you run out of people." If you asked me to interview, I was desperate. No, I wasn't desperate. I was telling you, tops on the list had to get you.
Yeah, right. Well, anyway, they were desperate. They were desperate. But anyway, I fell into a gold mine. You know, they had his little video school had a lot of talent there. And so I had a good first season. One, you know, I think we went about 7-3 that first year. And the next year, almost all those kids were back. Had 23 kids in the football program in high school, 23. And we went 13-0 and won the TAP state championship that year. Had a kid named Bradford Lewis playing fullback for us, played linebacker too, went on and played at Baylor. And had a nice little career at Baylor. And actually, as a coach of the Vega High School, who won their first state championship year before last, yeah. And so had some really good players and some really good kids. It was a great experience. So anyway, I started out my career as a head coach, 2 years there, and then my alma mater, Riker High School, hired me as a head coach, athletic director. I went there for 6 years, tremendous experience. Then left there, and I needed to get into public school. I needed to get into public education for my family and all. And so got a job at Midlothian as the offensive coordinator, Midlothian High School. Then came back to Waco to China Spring as the offense coordinator. And then came here as a defense coordinator for 2 years, and then got the head coaching job here, and I've been here 11 years. So my entire career, I've either been a head coach, an offense coordinator, or defense coordinator. So it's really very different than most. And I took kind of a strange path to get here, but you know, I feel very, very blessed and very, very fortunate, of course.
I agree with you. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
And those things don't happen, just happen. Like it happens for a reason.
Oh, absolutely. I firmly believe everything happens for a reason.
Right.
You know, you don't always know what the reason is all the time, but you know, the good Lord has a reason for everything happening, and you just trust and have faith in Him, and things will go in the right direction usually.
No doubt. What are 3 things that you have accomplished that you're proud of?
Oh gosh, you know, I think the number one thing, I guess the first starting out, I think being a husband, being married now, we've been married almost 26 years, me and my wife Gailey. You know, having a good relationship is really awesome. I think nowadays to stay married, you know, is quite an accomplishment because there's so many pressures in the world today tearing people apart. So I think that's a major accomplishment. I think second of all, having 4 kids. Well, I didn't have them actually. We don't need a biology lesson right here, but I didn't have them. But my wife having them, and us raising 4 kids, I feel like our kids are in a good place. And we have 3 kids that are in college right now, and 1 that's in 7th grade. So just raising them up to be good, responsible citizens, I think is you know, that's a great accomplishment as far as I'm concerned. You know, and thirdly, I think just being in this profession this many years, I think it's, you know, a lot of times people get in here, they hit some rough roads, they want to go find something else to do. So I think for any of us that have been in it a while, I think it's quite an accomplishment to start a career and stick with it for many, many years. So I'd say those are, you know,
those, like you said, those days are gone. You know, a lot of the people has been in the field for so long, you know, a lot of 20s, 30-year plus people. It's really rare.
It's getting more and more rare all the time.
Yes,
for
sir.
Sure, no doubt.
What is your definition of success?
My definition of success, that's funny because that's something I think about, and actually we talk to our kids about it a lot. You know, to me, it's taking what you've been blessed with and making the most of it. You know, I don't think you can gauge success by how many championships you win or any of that, because I've known a lot of, like in the coaching profession, for instance, I've known a lot of very, very successful coaches who have never won a state championship. I know a lot of tremendous coaches who aspire to be head coaches who have never gotten that opportunity or what have you. But I see them as being very, very successful people. So to me, it's taking what you've been blessed with and making the most of it. I think that's all anybody can ask. You know, those other things are kind of out of our control. But I think you just got to take what the good Lord's blessed you with and work as hard as you can and make the most of it. That's my definition.
That's a good definition, Coach. What do you think it takes to achieve success? You know,
I really think it's really pretty simple. I think it boils down to how hard you're willing to work. I mean, I think that's but you can have all kinds of different, you know, things, but it comes at the end of the day, it comes down to how hard you're willing to work, how much time and energy you're willing to sacrifice to accomplish something. I think is that's the main thing. So it comes down to just working very, very hard. And I think also you've got to do things the right way. I mean, it's not, there's a lot of people that work very, very hard that don't do things the right way. I mean, you got to have a moral compass maybe, or you have to have a certain ethical approach to things. Right. You can't just go out and run over people to try to get to where you want to be. So I think you've got to have a good, good foundation, a good ethical, moral foundation, and just work very, very hard. And I think good things will generally happen. Not guaranteed. There's no guarantee that good things will happen. But if you do it the other way, it's a pretty good chance that bad things are going to happen.
Right.
So
I think you maximize your opportunity.
Yes.
When you do it, work hard and do it the right way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I can truly attest to those things that you're saying. I'm asking you the question, what's your definition and what does it take? But I can truly say from a person looking on, like that's the way you live that, right. And your kids, the people that you're around, that you impact, that's bred into them as well. Just like you said, we would come over for, the powerlifting meets with our JV kids so we can teach our young kids and develop our programs. And so we come and the weight room is packed.
Right.
I mean,
Yes,
it's kids in the hallway doing whatever they, I mean, just working.
Yeah.
Just go to work.
Right.
Get it in. And so
that's how we've had to do things here in order to be successful and be able to compete. The kids have had to buy in and work very, very hard. And I've been very fortunate, to hire some outstanding coaches here. Good quality people first and good coaches second. I've talked to you before.
Right.
You're the type of person that we love to have here in our program. I'm not trying to steal you away from all fishing right now, but you know what I'm saying. That's the kind of people that you surround yourself with good people. Good things will generally happen, and the kids will feed off of it. That's what I've been fortunate enough to. I've been blessed with some very, very good people around me.
That's what some of my mentors have told me. When you hire good people.
Yes,
because it's good people. They're going to learn what they need to learn to be effective. But like you said, they're going to do it the right way, and they're going to work hard.
Yes, sir.
Which in turn gives us all success.
No doubt.
As a team, as a family.
No doubt about it. Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Coach, for interviewing with the Success Chronicles. Just want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. Y'all done some great things here in Montgomery. The years you've been here, a lot of growth. We talked about, off camera, the growth in the community and the things on the campus. And, when people drive by, it's a really nice place.
Yes, sir.
But like you said, a lot of work has gone into that.
Absolutely. The people in Montgomery take a lot of pride in their schools and,
right.
and the way we do things around here. So that's a great thing.
Good deal. Well, thank you guys for joining us for this episode of Success Chronicles. We'll see you next time.